my. Oh my.
Hello.
I've been held at knife point that was less scary.
Good evening, welcome to Vape Talk UK, episode 165, abruptly, aptly even, titled Grumpy Old Men. But from the conversation we've just had before the show, Damon, it's no longer the case.
No, that old cunt's dead. I've rebranded. Been away for a while. Rebranded, back again.
He's
yeah,
at the gender
evening on.
He's at the gender reorientation, so he's now a grumpy old woman.
Shady's back. Tell it. Oh,
Damon painted that picture behind him using his best crayons and his dick dipped in paint. I've got no retort to that, Chris. There's no way you're going to get a can try all night, but I'm going to be zen all evening.
I think you coming on is the most prepared I've been for months.
It genuinely, really is. Chris wouldn't even be here by now normally.
This is actually the first time I've been on Vape Talk UK with absolutely no content.
No, that's a lie. That is a lie.
Chris,
Chris,
pull your microphone in a bit.
It can't. It doesn't go much further.
There, you got a rise out of me then, Chris. Well done.
Turn me up.
Turn you up.
Hello, Colette. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'll show you a rave.
Now, before we do this, Chris, we did put the epilepsy warning up before the show. So those of you that are sensitive to light or bullshit, Rob, no, I didn't restart the computer before the show this week, unfortunately. And I've got a feeling it is going to potato a little. Chris there, raving away.
With no music.
That's fucking horrible, Chris. Honestly. Yeah.
What? It begs the question, why?
Just to annoy people. That's his raison
I've worked
d'etre.
I've worked out what it is. You've got a Zomo laser by the monitor, haven't you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife got me for my birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
Good present.
No, so good evening.
But
Welcome
I
to
remember the days when you used to have that fucking wall thing. What happened to that wall thing?
He ate it.
What wall thing?
What was it called? That wall thing?
Oh,
Boner board.
The knobhead wall.
No, the
No, that was the one we
boner
made
board.
just for you. It's a boner board.
The boner board. That's it. Yeah. What happened to that? Yeah. I mean,
We got lazy and we were having to find boners mid-show.
that's where I remember the Zomo laser from, isn't it?
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think our discussion of the Zomo laser probably sold more Zomo lasers than fucking they did.
Hang on. Some people are talking to me in chat. Can I talk to them?
Yeah, talk to them. Respond.
Thank you. Hello, Keith. Yeah, I have lost weight. I lost loads of weight, actually, but now I'm putting it back on slowly. Lost a bit too much weight. Thank you, Maffy. Maffy Mike says, good to see Damon back on. Bloody hell. Like
Can you not stop lying?
It's good to have you back. It's good to have you here.
We have breaking news.
Breaking news.
I hear we've got breaking news coming in.
Oh. The world's slowest breaking news.
I'm going to have to speed it up.
I've run out of juice.
Well, then, let's have a look. Animation. Speed? No speed. Oh, there we go. Speed. Just turn this bad boy up.
There we go. Damon Fairhurst comes out of hibernation for the first time in over a year. Wow.
There you go.
You see, you've misfired there, Chris, because I have spoken to you. I've actually been out in the wild a fair amount of time now. I even went to that Vapors Lifestyle Expo business.
Yeah. Despite being nearly 89 years old, like the land tortoise, David is able to live an incredible age and is not yet considered past his sell-by date.
It's a true story. That is a true story.
Back to Matt Damon.
Check it on Wikipedia.
Hope for us
Your
all.
great-grandfather was a tortoise.
In a lucky turn of events, it's emerged Damon has looked as he does in his current form. What? Since he was 13.
Yeah.
So we all have a slim chance of aging so beautifully. Well, that's quite... I can't work out if that's kind or not, Chris.
I don't think it's particularly pejorative or an insult. I won't take it as an insult. It's another true story. I'm not going to deny anything tonight. So
is that included in this statement?
Eh?
Is that included in this statement?
Damon painted that picture behind him. That sentence hasn't changed.
Yeah, but you said I'm not going to deny anything tonight. I said, what, like that statement?
Do you know what? I've seen Space. That's a Space reference. I know it is.
Yeah.
Right, let's start with our guest then. Damon, what are you vaping on, mate?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Am I going first? I'm not even prepared. Yes, I am. I'm vaping on this because, you know, Jesus. That looks weird in that light, doesn't it? Needs to clean, doesn't it? Should have been prepared. Yeah, this it's the Shogun RDA from Vapor's Cloud. I think it's their first foray into smaller atomizers for a while, and it's a Squonkatty, obviously.
What size is it? It looks about 24 mil. It looks quite big. It's
a 22 mil Atty with the beauty ring on it from the kit from this Luxotic kit. But yeah, it's a 22. It's a small one. The flavour on it is superb. It's just a single coil banger. Really easy to build on. Nicely built. It's really good.
Let's have a look
really
at the
good.
deck.
Impressive. Sorry.
Let's have a look at the deck.
Let me get full squonk action going because it's a bit dry, to be honest. There we go. Will it?
Worse than dry wicks.
Oh, fucking hell. The light's gone to shit. That's not working, is it?
No, it's got a reasonable size.
Yeah, there's plenty of space in there for a beefy coil. I've just got a small Clapton in there. It's about 0.2, something like that. It's a really nice, dense, nice vape. It's good.
So, sorry, I just want to interject. I just spotted Jimmy's comment in the chat. Don't say wool too much. Someone will want sausages.
Sausages, man.
Damon went to Manchester and I said hello and got blanked, said Kev Lester. Fucking hell.
You blank, Kev.
I'm really sorry about that, Kev. That was not intentional at all. I was down there to
That's
see
not what you told me last week. I saw that fucking drip, Kev, and he just trying to be all chummy with me, but he was embarrassing me and ruining my street cred, so I told him to fucking do one, mate.
Right, anyway, in that Luxotic, I've got a Lorna. I'm going to pimp them, fuck it. I'm here. I work in the vape industry now, so I've got, and I mispronounced it, and I've been there over 3 months. That's fucking God. It's a Luna. It's a Luna, yeah.
I have been saying it. I have been saying it right then.
It is a Luna, yeah. You have been saying it right. I've got Caesar in there from the Emperor line, and that's a really good butterscotch cream. Really good.
You're trying to show us a product, but you're covering up the label.
It's tiny. I've only got a little amount left. And then I've got the Breeze as well, Breeze 2. And I've got a Luna Forest Fruits in there mixed with a Luna 1,000 milligram CBD. Because I love getting high.
A theme.
No, not only that though. Also, the last thing, and this does a cracking mention. Although that's really really good. Those products are good. Jeffrey's Cocktail Dream is fucking amazing. I'm going to fill up that with that next. So shout out to Dolan for that.
I actually paid for Nick shots today to do my other 2 of them.
And that wasn't set up. That wasn't set up in any way, shape, or form. I didn't know Damon was going to pull that out. It wasn't set
up. No, but rhubarb and ginger gin is a mind-blowing juice. This is not a setup. I know Dolan's my mate and stuff. But if they weren't good, then we wouldn't have bought them in at Aluna. We would not have bought them in if they weren't good, and they blew us away. And rhubarb and ginger gin, everyone's holding it up. I know it should be the current must-have juice. It should be being hand-checked everywhere if that's still a thing. Is it still a thing?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But it should be being checked because it is fucking clever, intelligent adult juice making. It's spectacular.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that.
I did.
I can't hear you guys.
I said thank you, David. I appreciate that.
That's all right. And then my internet.
Oh right, yeah. No worries. I can't see anyone apart from me again, and that's really disconcerting.
That's because you were talking.
All right. So yeah, that rhubarb and ginger
Mark
gin
was
is great.
vaping and hadn't pushed the button.
Apple and elderflower and cloudy lemonade are also very, very good indeed as well. Very good work.
Bless you. Thank you.
We put another order in yesterday, so it speaks volumes. So yeah, do I hand this over now?
Yeah, you hand it over.
All right. JB, in a while, what you vaping on and how are your rhododendrons doing?
Yeah, not bad. Surviving, I suppose. Knackered. My new job is an hour away, so I've got a 2-hour commute every day. Which sounds bullshit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I quite enjoy it, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I usually put them on for half an hour before I go to bed. And then I'm asleep after 10 minutes, so imagine listening to a 60-hour book in 10-minute segments. It's a fucking nightmare. So it's actually not bad. I'm quite enjoying it. The job is brilliant. People are nice. It's good. It's good. I am vaping on rhubarb and ginger gin. Oh, wrong way. And I'm using that in a Kennedy 24 with a special one-off very little cap on a Rock Mods DNA 75. I am vaping a billet box, 45 milligram Nick salts. It's my last of batch of Cactus Mojito I made up from Just Had Nick. And then I'm vaping on this bad boy. The Aspire Breeze's bigger, better, stronger, faster brother.
Yeah, I'm going to get one, I think, at the end of the month.
Oh, they are fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, I hear it's really good.
Takes a Nautilus coil. Obviously, it's a Nautilus all-in-one. Clicks in, locks into place, and away you go. It's brilliant.
Chris, what's the difference? Don't just say colour. Have you noticed any difference between the Nick Salt coil and the normal coil, as they call it?
I have in the BVC. I bought a couple of Sprites, and I took the coils out of that and put it in my billet box, and I've been using the same 1.8 ohm billet box BVC coils for the last 2-3 years now. So
you've not answered my question there at all. You've completely gone off on a tangent, and you've not answered my question in any way, what shape or form. Thanks.
I can't meet you on it, but I can put up more horrible facts. No, the Nick Salt coil for the BVC one, the smaller version,
yeah.
I noticed a difference. The Aspire Nautilus coil, I didn't know which one I put in, so I don't know which one was which, but they're much the same.
I'm really
Right, okay.
I am really liking the Sprite.
I really like the Sprite, but it's almost the exact same vape I get from my billet box. So I like the fact that this is a bit different. It wicks a bit better. So I've got a couple of bottles of Nick salts I bought were a slightly higher VG content, and the viscosity just with a BVC coil was just a bit shit. The coils will last me about 3 days. So
Yeah.
this is kind of handy for that because I can put the thicker juices in this, and then I can put the less viscous juices in the BVC billet box thingamajiggy-majig. Chandler, what are you vaping on, mate? How's your week been? Have you sold any phones? Can you get me a good upgrade deal?
Be good. Yes. Yes, not necessarily from the company that I work for. What was the last question?
Wait. How can you get me an upgrade deal from another company?
You didn't ask whether I was going to give it. You just said, "Can you get? And yes, you can get good phone deals.
No, I said, can you get me?
Yes,
Oh, did you?
Yes, just not from Vodafone. Oh, sorry.
No, actually, there is some very good deals on at the moment. The obviously the new iPhone XS and the XXX. I can't fucking say it.
XXX, does it come with all the adult channels?
Yeah, the XS Max. There you go.
Do you know what? I heard that Apple were really irritated by people calling it the XS. It's actually the 10S.
It's the 10S.
Yeah.
You get because it's that stupid. Is it a Roman numeral or not? You get some people calling it a 10. You get some people calling it X, and you know, everybody who rings up is asking for an XS.
Well, I couldn't give a fuck at this stage. iPhones are just getting ridiculous prices. Like
the cost is excessive.
It is.
Hunter.
I actually lost my. I've been a loyal Apple customer for many since the first iPhone came out. I have been a loyal customer. They royally fucked me over, royally pissed me off. So I no longer buy Apple products. I am now an Android. I'm an Android convert now.
What kind of Android?
How have they?
You got the Pixel 2, haven't you, Mark?
No, I'm using the. I have got a Pixel 2. I use that as my work phone, but I'm using the Huawei Pro.
Huawei P20 Pro.
Yes.
Yeah, that is now. That is.
I like stock Android. Once you start plastering bloatware all over the top of it, it becomes a bit. Yeah.
That's the problem I have with Android. Android doesn't. Android's like Windows. Once it's got a load of shit on it, it's just wank. It's useless. Fact is that a lot of companies are changing the charging ports from micro USB to USB-C.
Yeah,
that's changing the game because the amount of fucking charging ports I used to break is unreal.
Yeah.
But
USB-C's the C seem to be the thing at the minute.
I don't know because I've not played with many newer phones apart from my iPhones. But a friend of mine, well, my sister-in-law's partner's got a Razer phone. And that takes a MacBook charger.
What, a Motorola Razer?
What?
Aren't they like 15 years old?
No, Razer is in...
The new Razers are ultra high spec, though. Why are we talking about Phone Talk UK? Is it?
Yeah.
We need to have some sort of bollocks we discussed.
First time I've been on in about 3 years. Talk about vaping.
Craig's just said, I moved over to the P20 Pro and it's brilliant, so much better than the iPhone. I completely agree. My issue was I had I think it was a faulty speaker on my iPhone. Took it in, paid to have it repaired, right?
Yeah.
Several months later, the same thing happened again. Took it back and their response was, oh, we're sorry, but our repairs are only warranted for 3 months or 6 months or whatever it was. Now you're going to have to pay to have it replaced. So I bounced the phone off the wall and departed.
I would have bounced the fucking phone off the bird behind the counter's head.
Yeah.
So they've lost my business as a business, and they've also lost my business as a retail customer as well.
So Chandelier, come on, what are you vaping on?
What am I vaping on? I am currently... I am vaping on the Eden Mods Salix, but I don't know if you can... If that's going to focus. Can you see what I've done with the airflow?
Yeah, that's cool, yeah.
Have you drilled it out?
It's got the dinky airflow, so it is now mouth to lung.
How tight is it, Chandler? If you know what...
It might be your ass on Christmas Day.
This is quite like this one's suiting me, but there is a tighter one. I know Mark likes his tight mouth to lung.
Mark, why are you wearing convict's pajamas?
I am, and bear with me a second. I've just broken the
It looks like an extra out of Papillon. Do you remember that film with Dustin Hoffman and?
Oh, then you've got the boy in the striped pajamas sitting next to him.
But yeah, so I put that because I don't know what's going on. The Salix has got that. Where is it? That cassette is removable. They call it a cassette. That bit just pulls straight out. And focus. There you go. So that cassette pulls out, and you get a full open one. You get this one, and you get the even smaller one. But you can also buy a blank cassette that you can drill out yourself if you want to. So I've got used to this. Ideally, I would have liked this one a tiny bit tighter, but the smaller one is just too tight. It's when you're dragging on it,
right.
For me. But I've actually got used to it now. So yeah, it's great. It's not far off the Saver art. The draw on the Saver.
Oh, really?
It's very yeah.
Oh, with which post on the Saver?
With the restrictor in.
Right. Okay.
Because I
was surprised to see them actually. I was surprised to see Eden Mods at the Vapors Lifestyle thing. I can't hear Mark anymore
because he's not speaking.
He's just very quiet.
No, Mark's not. I can't hear him. Can you hear him, Chandler?
I can't hear him, but I didn't realise he was saying anything. Mark, say something.
No, we can't hear you.
No, we can't hear you.
Right. Anyway,
carry on.
So
yeah, Eden Mods.
I'll say this because it wasn't told to me to keep this confidential or anything. But I walked up to Andy and said, "Oh, all right. How are you doing? Surprised to see you here." And Andy Hobbs was his normal like kind of weirdy muted self, and in his cutting way said, "Well, I had no fucking choice, did I? It was free." So yeah, that's why they were there. But yeah, I was a bit surprised to see it.
Yeah. No, it was it was good to see him there. So yeah, I've suddenly got into the Eden Mods. So
well, what else have you got by them then?
The Trillium.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the Trillium there, and in there, this is turning into a.
Would you say you rate that above any other kind of sub tank?
Hello, am I there now?
Yeah, you're there.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Rating this above a sub tank. What have I got? I've got. Ooh, I don't know what you'll. For crying out loud! What's that called again now? That's it. It's a Cleto. There you go. I prefer this to my Cleto.
Right. Flavour or
flavour wise. Flavour on the flavour on this is great. The airflow, you get more airflow through a Cleto.
Dolan disagrees. Dolan's got a diss track.
I must have tried half a dozen different coil setups, and you know me, I don't like to be negative for no reason, but I think it's absolute dog shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You think it's dog shit?
I think it's dog shit.
It's better than my
Hey, why,
Clito,
Mark?
I think a Clito's better. In fact, I still use Clitos as tester mods at shows for that very, very reason.
I thought Clitos were bollocks.
The bollocks or bollocks?
No, Clitos are good. There's a reason why they sell shitloads, and that's because they're fucking good.
They taste good.
Yeah, they do.
Don't get me wrong. The Clito is not shit by any stretch of the imagination.
The Clito is the mass-produced hero tank, I think.
Okay, I've now put my Clito. I put my Clito on here, and it's going no atomizer found. Why the fuck's it doing that? Oh, because the bottom pin does not stick out at all in the slightest. It's a recessed pin at the bottom. I hadn't noticed.
Where are you on
noticed that
holiday,
before.
Cass? Where are you? But I've forgotten since then.
I think he's gone.
He's in Spain somewhere.
All right.
Alicante. How can a ginger bloke go to Spain?
What else are you vaping on, Chandler?
So my other setup is, apart from the Trillium, my last one is I've got the Raven mods, and I've got the Gas mods Nixon on top there. I set that up to take to work with me, and I've just keep vaping it. So yeah,
I like
and the Nixon's quite. It's the airflow on it is not smooth by any stretch, but because it comes through these gaps, you have to unscrew it, and the reverse threading just does my head in. But once you've got used to it, it works quite well. So I've got in that one. I was going to show you the bottle. It's turning into a Jeffrey's advert. I'm going to show you that bottle because that's it. That's elderflower and apple. Because I've put it in the bottle that's got me Squonker top on. The Trillium has got dandelion and burdock in it. And the Salix on top of... My brain's gone. My Dacus mod. Sorry, Mike. Yeah. Anyway, my Dacus mod has got... I've got the... Indigen tobacco-y stuff in it, and I've got the don't ask me to pronounce it. Connor Packer. There you go. It's got Tamahawk tobacco, which is a blend of tobacco, caramel, and fig, and that's
supposed to be really good. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, this one's got coffee and mocha over the top, and it's definitely got a nice coffee flavour and has mouth to lung tobacco.
It's not going to be quite. It's not going to be quite bee juice, though, is it?
Bee juice.
Actually, Mark, I've got to. Some of Martin's juices are on a par in a completely different way.
Sorry, I didn't realise they were Martins. Are they Manabush?
Yeah, it's Martin Manabush. It's Martin Manabush.
My apologies.
Collaborating with the guy from Bread of Heaven, Paul. Sorry, Paul, if you're watching, you probably don't watch. You used to watch. No. But yeah, they are the ones. Yeah, they're Manabush.
I didn't recognise the branding. I've not tried them, so I will retract my comment.
Bread of Heaven, but like Bread of Heaven are very interesting as well.
I was going to say, I'll be honest, it threw me. I didn't realise that Indigene were Manabush to start with, until I said, your packaging's very similar. And he went, yeah, there's reason for that.
To be fair, it's unfair to just say it's Manabush. It's not. It's Paul from Bread of Heaven as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a collaboration between the two companies. They're two independent companies who have worked in tobacco e-liquids for well, since the dawn of vaping, basically, since the dawn of e-liquids in the UK, and
why has everyone stopped speaking?
I think we've lost your audio. David, we've lost
Damon.
Picture laughing
That's
to his
right.
joke.
Yeah, should we just laugh and carry on and pretend that everything's all normal?
Damon,
He'll not notice.
Refresh, Damon, we've lost your audio.
Okay. Just smile and nod, Damon. It's fine.
Question.
Yeah.
Would you consider buying this?
Oh, what is it? Hang on. It's got myself. What is it?
I assume this is working.
Yeah, you're
This.
How many batteries are in that thing?
Oh, 3, 6.
Oh, what's this called? The
4?
Isn't this an old thing?
Well, someone posted it a minute ago, and I just thought I'd ask.
Do me a favour, Chris. Send me the full file, and I'll put it up on screen.
Is that a triple
I got
or
the
a
full
quad
file.
stack in the middle? That's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a quad stack in the middle. That mech.
I couldn't even work out
Wait,
what it
I'll
was.
put the full picture up.
Either way, why would you want Okay, I can understand the battery life would be absolutely awesome on a mod that's using 27 batteries, but you've got to you're carrying it around like Dame Edna's handbag.
Right, the vaping has become so badly parodied now. Has anyone seen the H3H3? You know, that Vape Nation thing. Well, that guy now on his weekly podcast has a massive green box vape machine that takes the piss out of stuff like this. It's quite funny. He makes people take rips on it. It's quite funny.
Yeah, no, that's not for me.
What's it called, Chris?
I've got no fucking idea. It's a custom mod someone's made of a DeWalt fucking...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's at least 12 on each side. I wasn't far off when I said 27, was I? And that's assuming there's only the ones at the front.
Might as well just use a car battery.
I've seen someone do that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that black guy a couple of years ago. What was he called?
Ali Lord of Plumes or something.
Yeah, Lord of Plumes. That was the guy vaping off a fucking car battery. It's
I've actually got him on my friends list. Let me have a look. I'll find his name. Ali self-proclaimed.
Has everyone? Dolan hasn't done what he's vaping on.
Yeah, we haven't done the. Sorry, Mark. Mark, what are you vaping on, Mark?
Me, I am vaping on the Berserker on my VGod Trick Life Fam box. Vaping.
Oh, that's a nice
very
box.
quiet.
Who is?
You are.
In what sense? Volume or just not talking much?
Volume.
Oh my.
Yeah, turn yourself up, mate.
Let me turn myself up.
Either that or I'm just rude.
Main volume. Is that any better?
So has anyone used this shotgun RDA? It's a genuinely new piece of kit. Nobody's got any new bits of kit, have they? Have you, Mark?
Not tonight, no.
Anyone tried it? I recommend it. It's good. If you're looking for a 22mm single coil squonker that's nice to build on, easy to build on, and you can fit fairly meaty coils in it, and 3.5 ID, no problem, then this is your Badger. It's 40 quid and comes with 2 caps. I forgot to tell you about that. Cloudy cap and like a... Sorry, Mark, I'm just interrupting your hand check.
That's all right. That's all right. In that, I am vaping V4 Vapor. Focus cunt. V4 Vapor 12 milligram mint.
Why did you just turn into Gareth Gates?
That wasn't very nice, Christopher. I pulled a tube out tonight. Not for the first time this week, I love you know. Hey, babe. Yeah, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. What the hell is wrong with me? Seriously, fuck's sake!
You've completely lost the ability.
You had a long week, mate. It's been a long week.
I've had a long life. Fucking hell.
It's only Tuesday.
I don't do. Okay, I squonk, but I squonk at 0.4. I don't do Clouds Bro anymore. But I thought, you know what? I'm gonna wick up a tube tonight, and I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Don't you judge me, Chandler. I saw that face.
No.
What tube did you pick? Huh? What tube did you pick? Again?
Comp Life HK mod.
And the RDA?
The RDA is the skill.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
And in there, I'm running 0.004 as every.
0.004.
Yeah, 04.
As every tube user in the world will use. No. Running about.
I am waiting for the next.
About 0.1. And I don't do clouds anymore, but I am thoroughly enjoying this. I could put it down to the juice.
What's in it? Is it apple and elderflower?
It's not.
No!
It's
Oh,
not.
it's cheesecake.
It is salted caramel cheesecake from TYV. And it's
now that sounds
fucking incredible.
That
I
sounds
haven't
gorgeous.
tried that yet, Mark, and I'm a bit pissed off because like that was one of the ones that I was really looking forward to trying at the Vapors Lifestyle Expo thing, and like I got there and the coil had gone or the flavour had gone on the coil anyway, and I don't know. Why didn't I buy some?
Yeah.
What? Well, I mean, I just wanted to try it. I just wanted to go through the things that I haven't tried before.
Honestly,
I was there on B2B Day anyway, Chris.
Honestly, it is really, really good, and I'm not blowing vape up Dale's arse. It is. I can't tell you a single cheesecake flavour I've ever liked. Patricia, or whatever we call her.
Tracy.
I call her Dave.
Dave. Whatever.
Dave.
But I knew her before the operation.
She used to vape through so much of Dale's key lime cheesecake, and I hated it. I really did not like it at all. I thought she's stealing my mod already.
I loved that stuff because it had no sweetener in it. It was tart as fuck.
You see, I didn't find it tart enough, and I like a real tart vape. But I'm not. You know me, guys. I don't vape sweet juice. It's not my thing. But this.
What? Not my thing.
Not my thing. But this is banging. I just saw my name mentioned. Mr. Dolan never sold me his gizmo. I was quite upset.
Who speaks to me?
It's still on my desk. Still on my desk from last week's show.
Is it actually called a gizmo?
It's called a gizmo.
Yep.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one where you put the tank drops inside it.
That's it.
That must be 3 or 4 years old now, innit?
And the rest.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get hold of Chris, who used to manufacture them before China fucked him.
Holy shit.
I've been trying to get hold of him to talk business. I said this live, really, should I?
No.
But I'm struggling to get hold of them at the moment. But
were used with nature vape coils a lot?
Yeah.
Nature vape tanks a lot, weren't they? Is my memory right there?
Completely right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They were very, very desirable at one stage.
Yeah. So are you.
Sex on legs, son. Sex on legs.
Cool. So, where are we going this week? I know we've got a few things that we want to discuss. Shall we get the negativity out of the way first? Because
right, Damon, what you want to say?
Let's get the negativity out of the way first. The darlings that are the Americans, specifically the Americans that control a lot of the vaping within the US. I know this is Vape Talk UK and not Vape Talk US. However, we came across these earlier. I'm going to show you the videos first. What I don't want you to get confused by is the fact that these are aimed at children. These adverts are aimed at children. Andrew, you're safe. No heat, not burn. No heat, not burn. There's a few things that the FDA have done this week, but we'll start with the videos. I'm going to start with the epidemic is spreading. It's called. So if we can have silence from the team, please, whilst I play the video.
Sorry, on mute.
There's an epidemic spreading. Scientists say it can change your brain. It can release dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde into your bloodstream. It can expose your lungs to acrolein, which can cause irreversible damage. It's not a parasite, not a virus, not an infection. It's vaping. There's...
Okay. Hold your thoughts. This next one's a little bit dark for my liking. This one is titled Hacked.
Vaping can deliver nicotine to your brain, reprogramming you to crave more and more. Don't get hacked.
Don't get hacked.
That's some serious Black Mirror level fucking imagery there. That's frightening fucking stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Very powerful imagery.
They are aiming this at kids. It's not aimed at adults. However, what worries me is they're using adults to portray children, which
it's very Stanton glance, isn't it? And it's funny how this has come out on the day that they are being funded 20 million to research into vaping as well. Conspiracy much? I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit tinfoil hat, but those adverts are incredibly powerful, very, very well made, and they will definitely trigger middle America and make them even more anti-vaping than they already are, when something like 70% of Americans think vaping is on a par with smoking.
Yeah.
So that powerful imagery is going to sink in fucking deep to middle America, heartland America.
To be fair, have any of you ever actually watched American TV?
Well, yeah, obviously. Everyone's watched American TV, there's no getting away from it, is there, Chris?
I don't mean like American TV as in an American... it's like Americans are really open up on all of their adverts. Like, they'll be trying to sell a drug and it will say like, it will list like 1,000 side effects. I've just found, I've not watched this video, I've literally just found it for the purpose of doing this. So let me just share my screen.
Yeah, but they're covering themselves against ambulance cases, aren't they?
Do you have to have the video file, or can I do it with sound through?
So send me the link and let me pull the video down.
All right. Have you got? Let me just watch it. I'm gonna mute myself. You talk amongst yourself.
So what they're going with on this, the project is called The Real Cost, and the FDA have set up the real cost, and it's not just smoking, it is a thing against nicotine. So they're trying to get kids from smoking, they're trying to stop kids from smokeless tobacco, so chewing tobaccos and snuff and any form. You know, we've not, as an industry, been we've not been set up just for vaping. It just happens that there's a couple of vaping ones, there's a couple of smoking ones, there's ones for chewing tobacco and things like that. So we've not been pointed out. Andrew's just said there's 28 ads in a 30-minute program here. They can cram everything down your throat. Yeah.
It is kind of strange that this is all happening in the same kind of week, though. I mean, I think in the last few days as well, it's just a news story that got buried about a load of kids in a Florida school that were chewing on nicotine gum and got taken ill into hospital. You know, if that had been kids found vaping e-cigarettes, 10 kids in a playground with 10 mods who all go nick sick and go to hospital, that's headline news. 10 kids getting ill off nicotine gum, Nicorette, not so much.
Yeah, I think that Big Pharma get away with a lot more than what we get rid of. One of I'm just going to pop an image up that let me just pop this image up. Type show as letterbox. There we go. So that image there, and Haley Boyce suffered severe injuries when an e-cigarette device exploded while she was vaping on Mother's Day weekend of 2016. Now, let me try and zoom into this. There we go. Thoughts?
Well, what was she doing with it?
Sorry, I was muted. Is she vaping it with her minge or what?
Oh,
yeah, I wondered whether she got confused between her stacked mod and something else.
I get it. I get what they're trying to do. There's also relating to this as well, Chandler. I'll let you lead this. The letters that have gone out this week.
The
60-day.
Oh, the FDA.
An amalgamation.
Oh, okay. Do you mean the jewels?
No. The 60-day warning that was sent out about flavours.
Oh, about the FDA. The FDA decide that they may well pull flavours in 60 days, which is a little bit scary. They've sent letters to Juul Labs and the 4 tobacco companies who make up the convenience store market, basically. That's who they're aiming against. And the FDA are suggesting that they should consider eliminating online sales and voluntarily remove flavoured products from the market. And they've been given 60 days to respond with their. They've been given 60 days to respond with their plans to prevent youth use. This is all about youth vaping.
They're referring to it at the moment as a crisis. A crisis.
Yeah. So they're not. It's not been pitched at the mainstream vaping market. It's been pitched at the ones that are selling in the garage, in the convenience stores. So,
however, have we seen the share price since that was?
I haven't.
Let me pop this up on screen. Since this was all brought about. Let me drop that in here. So we all know that Big Tobacco has taken a massive drop in their share prices over the past while. Since that announcement, that's what's happened to the share price.
It's gone up.
It's gone up.
Well, that's we shouldn't be surprised by that, should we? We shouldn't be surprised by that. Come on.
I don't know.
God, your head just spins with it all, doesn't it?
Because the FDA's just targeted the tobacco companies who are producing vapor products that are to be sold in a convenience store. So almost saying we're not going to let you sell your vape stuff, and the shares go what? Am I missing something?
One factor that they're closely evaluating is the availability of characterizing flavours. Quote the words characterizing. We know that flavours play an important role in driving the youth appeal, and in view of the trends underway, we may take steps to curtail the marketing and selling of flavoured products. We are now actively evaluating how we'd implement such a policy. So they're actually stepping forward and trying to make this happen.
Did you get that link I sent you, Mark?
No, bear with.
Bear with.
It's in the chat. I got it.
I want Mark to show it.
Okay, you talk amongst yourselves, and I'll get this sorted.
Essentially, I watched a few American TV shows that were may or may not be streamed online. And I noticed that in every advert of every drug, pharmaceutical product, they're very over the top. Like, you know, in the UK, when you get prescribed to medicine, if you actually read the leaflet, right at the bottom, it'll have a huge list of be certain that, you know, you're aware of the fact that it is a slight possibility. It's
just FDA regulation and legality, that, Chris, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in America, I think by law they need to list all those stuff on any advert to sell any product. I get, but you don't see adverts that are directly opposing a product. You know what I mean? Those adverts are directly oppressing a product. They're directly. That is like Pepsi making an advert saying, "Don't drink Coke, it's shit." Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not, because they're talking about their own product. They're talking about their own product because of FDA regulations and law, because they have to, because those side effects are actually real.
No, I'm not on about that, you dickhead. I'm on about the fucking vaping adverts.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, right.
They're directly saying, do not use these products. They're going to kill you. How can they get away with that? That's like ridiculous. They're not saying.
Which vape adverts are you talking about here, Chris?
The one Mark's just showed.
Yeah, they're not vaping adverts. That's vaping anti. That's propaganda. That's anti-vaping propaganda.
Right,
That's
are we-
what I'm
But
telling you.
they could do identical videos to the ones that were shown for like coffee.
Right,
Don't-
Chris.
don't
This
drink
is,
I think
caffeine.
probably if you play the adverts again, they're very, very cleverly worded and very, very and the way that the images are presented
Yeah,
probably
it's like-
allows them to bypass that. Yeah.
Scientists suggest that it releases formaldehyde in your blood. They don't say scientists suggest it's 95% safer than smoking, do they?
But unfortunately, there are studies that I mean, I know the big caveat here is those studies are funded by questionable enterprises, but there are studies that say that formaldehyde is produced.
right, I'm
Also,
just going to
studies
show.
that say you've got popcorn lung from having a fuck
I'm going to show Chris's
Not
video.
from vaping, Chris.
flavour in it.
Such
Bullshit.
low quantities.
You ready, Chris?
Yeah, yeah.
Go for it.
This is an attempt to hopefully find an
My
American.
moderate to severe ulcerative
Oh, here we go.
colitis, the possibility of a flare was almost always on my mind. Thinking about what to avoid, where to go, and how to deal with my UC. To me, that was normal until I talked to my doctor. She told me that Humira helps people like me get UC under control and keep it under control when certain medications
Alright,
haven't
that's
worked.
a nice bit.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and
Here's the bad bit.
problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Raise your expectations. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira.
They try to make it sound nice, but they put all the side effects in there. That's actually a mild version.
Always has to be at your desk. Now,
That's a mild one.
Horizon,
So many adverts of like.
There's like a mad list of side effects and stuff that they read out. And that's them trying to sell a product. So imagine when they're trying to repress and stamp out sales of the product, how extreme they're willing to go.
Yeah, okay, but the context is key here, and you're missing the context. On one hand, you're talking about prescription medicine, which has to list legally all the side effects, and on the other hand, you're talking about a propaganda, an anti-vaping propaganda advert, which describes a study which has happened and been funded. So it's different. It's apples and oranges, mate.
What my point is, that in the UK, in order to sell these medicines or drugs or pharmaceuticals, they need to list the side effects, yes, on the leaflet.
Yeah.
But out in the, like, you don't see Zavirax, you know, the fucking thing for cold sores, you don't see them saying, may rot your lip, may give you this, may give you that. They just say Zavirax helps cold sores, and that's it. That's it. Out in the States, in order to be able
Cyrax is not a prescription medicine. Prescription medicines are not allowed to be advertised on UK TV. You're going off on a tangent that has no bearing on what we're actually really talking about, which is an advert funded.
Argumentative, grumpy old bastard. Listen.
Well, you know, it's just I can't help it because you're talking such pure shite.
You're not listening to what I'm saying because you keep interrupting like a big, bald, grumpy cunt that you are.
I really am. I'm listening, Chris.
Listen to me, Damon. That Mark, mute him, delete him, do something, hack him, stick a jewel in his mouth. Listen. What I'm saying is, regardless of the product, in order to sell a product in the States that's FDA approved, they need to jump through all of these hoops in advertising. They need to say, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. Buy our product. What I'm saying is, when they're trying to promote this propaganda to stamp out the sales of these products, there's no hold bars when it comes to what they're willing to say. But what I'm trying to get at, if you stop interrupting like a cunt, is the fact that in the UK, all of this news and all of the anti-vaping semantics that are put out in I'm gonna fucking knock you out. I'm gonna come to Kendall and I'm gonna fucking punch you in the balls. And then I'm gonna give you some of that medication in the hopes that it gives you anal bleeding.
I'm not already suffering from anal bleeding.
I've forgotten what I'm gonna say. I'm not even bothered. Fucking do your own thing.
I know what you mean, but your angle and it's just you're a bit wrong because you're comparing two things that are not exactly the same in any way whatsoever. I know the angle you're coming from.
Let me speak. Exactly the same.
Conversation is a two-way street, my lad. Right, I do know where
are they in America? Are they allowed to advertise tobacco still? I don't know.
No.
So they're not allowed.
And tobacco is globally banned.
Right.
Andrew, can
Small
you just...
man syndrome. I'm 5'11", you dick.
Andrew, shut up, Barker. Andrew, can you just confirm for us whether or not advertising of tobacco products is allowed in the US, please?
No, it's not.
Right. That was quick.
Tobacco's advertising in tobacco has been banned. I'm sure for a good while now on sponsorship. Chris, the thing is, right, that video has been funded by the Ants militia, hasn't it? The anti-vaping militia. As long as they stick to facts and they are woolly with their verbiage in the video, they can fucking put what they want on screen. They can put as many powerful images as they want. And if they've got that much financial backing, they're going to do strong adverts like that. And you can't knock that side of it. That's very, very powerful advertising.
But what I'm getting at is how it's being allowed to happen with all of the money and financial backing that Big Tobacco has. You would never see two big competitors being Big Tobacco and the rest of the world. You'd never see Coca-Cola release an advert saying Pepsi shit. Is what I'm saying. The people funding those adverts have clearly got a lot of money and they're clearly aiming for a big reach, a big target audience. But at the same time, in the UK, we can't get genuine, reliable research out there because of the propaganda and bullshit that the big pharmaceutical companies, Big Tobacco, are putting out. You see, for every one positive vaping research, you see 100 bad news stories about vaping. And what I'm saying is that the bad news stories about vaping were initially Big Tobacco and the mainstream media. The biggest arguments against vaping were from Big Tobacco to start with, and we didn't have the leverage and able to fight that. I don't even know what you're laughing at, but you're fucking stressing me out here.
I'm laughing because Riyadh's just come into chat, and it's funny because Riyadh's in chat. That's all. I wasn't laughing at you, Chris.
The point being is that for every one good news story, there's 10 bad. Same way.
It is a tricky one with these adverts because they are the whole reason for these adverts is the whole reason they've come out is to combat this epidemic. I don't believe I just did that. It's called this epidemic of the underage vaping, and I think we're all. I think we're all agreed that underage vaping, smoking, whatever is not a bloody good idea.
Think that,
it's not a good idea unless you. No, it's not a good idea.
Do you think
I'm not condemning underage vaping.
Do you think these adverts get funded by big companies that make these products in the hopes that that'll be enough to show the FDA that they're willing to combat their own problem?
No, the funding behind those adverts isn't from vaping companies.
I'm saying, could it be in the? Oh, for fuck! Can you get rid of him and get Riyadh on, please? He's so fucking argumentative. I'm saying, do you think that we might take that route?
Oh, what?
Oh, no, now I understand. Yeah, sorry.
I think the trouble is because whenever you push, whenever you say vaping is 95% safer than smoking, you're effectively going, Pepsi is 95% better than Coke.
I think at the end of the day, in America, a lot of it is funded by big tobacco. A lot of it, you know, a lot of the tax dollars comes from tobacco. And they're going to try and discredit vaping in any fucking way they can. You've got the FDA behind it. Oh, let's ban flavours. Let's ban this. Let's ban that. Ban the other. You know what? FDA, fuck you. Let's move on to the next thing.
Fair enough.
It is tax dollars. That's all it is.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that.
Right. How many of you guys mix? And I don't. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, I do go out. Well, no, I go out and socialise every now and again, so I do mix with other people occasionally.
You mix quite a lot of juice, don't you, Chandler?
I do mix quite a bit. Yes. Yeah. Hence the massive collection of bottles and concentrates and stuff. I'm just a tight bastard, and it's cheap.
Is that what it's all down to? Not exploring, not the creativity inside you. It's about saving an extra few quid. And I'm not trying to make you sound tight. I'm genuinely.
No. It started off being. It started off being to save a couple of quid, and then I realised that you could buy some half-decent flavoured concentrates that you just couldn't get pre-mixed at the time when I started mixing, and it kind of just went from there, and then a lot of the one-shot concentrates started appearing. So yeah, initially it was because I'm just a tight Yorkshireman. But yeah, it then got to be I can now play with flavours and things like, I know adding a one shot, a cool shot probably isn't classed as mixing, but just to be able to go, I think this would be really good with, yeah, and even just mixing bottles of. I started mixing bottles. Did you ever do that with like your Hangson juice? I've got like Coca-Cola and a cherry flavour, and I thought, oh, if I mix those two together, do I get cherry cola?
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff.
So it's essentially you fine tuning something that already exists to make it better. Well, not make it better, but make it more suitable for you. Yeah, and just for the laugh, half the time. Yeah, just to see if I can do something a bit different. Yeah. How about you, Damon? You've dabbled, haven't you?
Yeah, here and there. Nothing on a major scale whatsoever, because I've really not got the patience to go through version 26 of something. And I just know that, like, I'll go down the rabbit hole. If I go too far down the rabbit hole, then it'll be version 103 and it'll never be right. So
you're a perfectionist then.
I just know what I like, and I've kind of found it most of the time. So I don't need to do that much anymore, really. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to go through all the versions to find exactly the one. So
it is really hard with mixing though, because you'll get something and you go, "This is nice. I like this. This is really nice," and you vape it for a while, and then you go, "Yeah, it could do with just a little bit more of, or what would it be like with?" And you go from actually something that's really quite nice, you add something else to it, and just fuck it up completely.
Just a quick question for chat. It looks as though we've got quite a few people here that mix. How many of you mix from scratch, and how many of you go from a how can I put it? Like a bottle shot, a concentrate that's already made, and sort of change it up. Add your own cool shot. Add a little bit more strawberry. How many of you actually start with something and add to it rather than mixing from scratch? I know when I first started out, and obviously we manufacture juice now. For me, it was being asked. You know, now, you know, I've got the lab. You know, I could spend days, hours, weeks, months perfecting a flavour, and you know, it's my job. You know what I mean? It's that's how it is. But back years ago, you know, I'd start off with a bit of V1 Capella and a bit of Dulce de Leche and maybe a bit of cinnamon or graham crunch, or you know what I mean, and just add to it. But a lot like Damon, I couldn't be asked. It was the time and the effort. And
yeah, but Dulce de Leche and V1 are really nice.
They are incredible.
You can't knock them.
Not at all.
In fact, when I walked up to you, you could smell V1 in the air. You said it straight away.
I did. Straight away, I could smell V1 Capella, and you could smell it. You could taste it in the air. And
I still like it.
There we go. So who doesn't mix? So Nightwork does both. Only use one shot concentrates. Pete, 100% scratch, could never beat mix. Simon Watson, half and half from scratch, half bottle shots, ready-made bottle for high days and holidays. Brad, extra cream in most cream style vapes. Riyadh, I mix from scratch, going to pay someone how to do it, wink wink. Yeah, I wonder who. From scratch for me, Rainbow Vape is my friend. Try mixing from scratch, they all taste like shite. I started mixing because I bought juice that tasted bad. Mixed with juice that didn't. That's fair enough. The reason I ask is I've had a lot of inquiries about some of our juice ranges being released in concentrate form. And I've not agreed to do it yet, but I've not declined to do it yet. I was just curious as to how many people actually still mix. Chris, I know obviously you were part of a juice company at one point. You had your own range. You designed and developed your own flavours.
Yeah.
Is that something you do anymore, or you just CBA?
To be honest, I can't even be asked to build anymore.
I know the feeling on that.
I used to mix a lot. I've actually got, sitting outside my shed on the floor, a gallon of Capella custard. The whole, just concentrate, it's just sitting outside my shed. I got sick of kicking it when I was walking around the shed. I just chucked it outside. A full fucking gallon of it. That was about 280 quid. But just so sick of fucking... It really stresses me out because I know that the stuff I made was good. I know there was stuff I made that was bad too, but I know that the stuff I made was good. And there was some stuff that was fucking incredible. But at the same time, I know that there's people out there that can do exactly what I want from a juice without me having to lift a finger. Like, for instance, when you wanted to release a cocktail range, you asked me what cocktails I thought would be a good idea. I gave you a list of a few. Ones that I would like to see as a vaping product. You give them a go. You made some incredible ones. And actually, I think like 3 of them I'd suggested. And those 3 were ones that if I had the capabilities of doing it, I would have made. So I've not needed to. And if I hound you enough, I don't even need to pay for it. So... You know, it's just a whole other.
It was.
The problem is when it comes to juices, it's so easy for people to make the right thing. When it comes to hardware, when I want something done right, I have to do it myself. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of products that people have made that aren't right for me. Prime example being the billet box is my perfect style of vape, and I didn't design it, and I couldn't have ever designed anything that good. But when it comes to the Pandora, I designed it to combat the problems I found with the existing stuff, because I knew that no one else was going to come out with it. No one else was going to come and do what I did on an RDA because it hadn't been done before. Whereas juice is very easy. I'm not saying it's easy to make or get right, but it's very easy to tweak with. When you make a prototype of a product, if it's shit, you probably get a revision or 2 revisions or maybe even 3 revisions, depending on how good your relationship with the company is. But after resetting and recutting and remaking 3 RDAs, if the product's still shit, they're going to charge you again. Whereas when it comes to mixing, you add an extra %, you add an extra bit of, I don't know, WS24 or WD40 or whatever you want to add to it, and you can tweak it and tweak it and tweak it and tweak it, and essentially use the same 4 bottles or 8 bottles or whatever concentrates that you bought 2 years ago, because you're never going to use the whole 30 ml of this and 30 ml of that and 30 ml of this to make a test.
You see,
between the abundance of e-liquid companies and then the actual bunch that do get it really fucking good, like the Cocktail Dreams by Jeffrey. I want to meet Jeffrey. Sounds like a nice chap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, between the abundance of...
We've lost Damon. Hang on.
I think the issue with mixing, when I started mixing, you're back.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we
now.
can.
Was Vintage Vapes and Cocktail Dreams meant to be 2 lines that you could cross blend?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
What we were trying to go for was, you hit the nail on the head earlier. It's a very adult brand. It's not aimed at, and I don't mean this derogatory. It's not aimed at Cloudsbro. It's not aimed. I don't know how to put it.
No, I know what you mean.
I aimed at the general population are out there for any old shit. It's a very specific vape flavour.
It's just rhubarb and ginger and elderflower and apple go so fucking well together. It's like a cocktail, an amazing cocktail, and it's inspired me to actually put a cocktail like that together featuring those flavours. So that's pretty clever. You know, I'm into my food and drinks and a lot, and that's quite clever at inspiring somebody else to make someone another cocktail. It's good.
I think the thing is, it's a very specialised flavour as well.
Gentleman vape, exactly what Brad said. Thank you, Brad. That's the word I was looking for.
They're specialised flavours as well.
And gentle lady.
It's not like blackcurrant, where you get blackcurrant squash, you get blackcurrant sweets, you get blackcurrant juice, you get blackcurrant this, blackcurrant that. It's not a common flavour. Rhubarb and ginger gin is, the pioneer in rhubarb and ginger gin was the Edinburgh Gin Company. And they made an incredible gin. Then people like Whitley Neal have since subsequently released their own gins with a similar flavour profile. But that flavour in itself is not a common flavour. You don't find rhubarb and ginger squash or cordial. You don't find rhubarb and ginger sweet, rhubarb and ginger this, or chewing gum or anything like that, because it's not a common flavour. So it's quite a specific demographic. You know, the same way I know that I don't like tomatoes, so I wouldn't try a Bloody Mary. But at the same time, I know that I like gin, so I would try this. I like gin, I like rhubarb, I like ginger, so I'd try it. And I think the thing is, there'll be a lot of people that will try rhubarb and ginger gin, probably not overly be fond of ginger, and not really like gin. But it's just such an incredible combination of flavours. It really, it's like the sweetness and the tartness of the rhubarb already conflict, and then you've got the sharpness and the heat of the ginger. And then you've actually got a sort of ginny aftertaste that comes with the flavour, and those sorts of combinations I think right in any way. You know, like a lot of people won't like rhubarb at all, but they might like rhubarb and custard sweets, or they might like rhubarb, like artificial rhubarb. So I think the thing is, it's very much a targeted demographic. It's people like, you know, as you were saying, a gentleman's vape, but it's also a very, you'd have to be into that sort of thing to try it.
Yeah.
You know?
Going back to the original point with the concentrates, though, because you were asking as if we're mixing.
Yeah.
The majority of my mixing now is a bottle shot.
Yeah.
So I get a bottle shot, mix up 200, 250 ml or whatever. But
what are your fave bottle shots, Chandler?
Sorry?
What are your fave bottle shots, just out of interest?
I love the one-shot lemon tart from Darkstar. Ginger Rogers from Chef's Flavours. If you've tried Ginger Rogers, that's gorgeous. It's like a Jamaica ginger cake with a bit of creaminess to it as well.
Do you find yourself buying the same flavours, or do you like try new ones every time?
I usually I keep coming back to the lemon tart. I will be getting some more Ginger Rogers, but I do tend to hop about. So I bought.
Do you think your bottle shotting is more due to financially viable, or because you prefer it, or you know, is it because it's a good value for money and you can try some new stuff without costing the earth? Or is it, you know, what spurs you on? Because if you're not buying the same stuff every time, it's not because of the flavour, essentially, is it?
Well, no. Like I said, I keep getting the lemon tart. I've always got one shot to a lemon tart in, but it was when I initially started doing it, there wasn't the flavours you could get at the minute. So one of the first things I tried to make was apple pie and custard, because I could get hold of apple pie flavour, but the flavouring, and I could get hold of custard. So I tried mixing the two together. But now you can go into a vape shop and go, "Have you got an apple pie and custard?" And I mean, Mark, have you got an apple pie and custard flavour in the shop?
In the shop, yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, you can go into a shop and go, "Have you got apple pie?" I could probably go, you know, most flavours you can find at a bakery flavour, something.
Do you want a weathered gallon of Capella custard, Chandler?
I'd love a gallon of. I don't think I'd need a gallon, to be fair.
Well, the bottle's water sort of a bit weathered, but it's only the bottle. The actual content itself.
I would imagine the contents inside it is absolutely fine. There shouldn't be anything wrong with what's inside it.
No, it's been sealed. I've not left it open. Do you want it?
I don't know whether I'd use a gallon of it. I'm sure we could share it out.
You can't say no, really, can you? Do you want a gallon of that?
A gallon of custard. I'd use some of it, definitely.
You could spice up a bath for the wife and just make it smell like aromatic.
Custard flavoured bath. Awesome.
That's actually quite a good idea. How much VG have you got that you can give to me, Chris?
I've probably got some VG knocking about. I think I've got the same size bottle with VG in it. But yeah, Chandler, I was thinking more the scent. Who drinks their own bath water?
Well, yeah, but if it was custard flavoured, it'd be really, really difficult not to, wouldn't it?
Custard scented.
Big Tom drinks his own bath water, I think.
You can't flavour bath water.
There you go. Subvape says he'll buy the cap custard from you. There you go. Your V1's gone. I can't use it because it had never passed a test.
I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it and see what state the bottle's in.
No, a lot of the people that have contacted me, a lot of them use 50/50. Now, obviously, we're tested and TPD compliant for the 70/30, but obviously we've not put through a 50/50 as compliant. So a lot of people want specifically the elderflower and apple in a 50/50 at 12 milligram in their mouth to lung, and
and a concentrate allows you to do that.
I think I might do it. think I might do it.
Yeah.
If people want it, if there's demand, you can't say no, can you? If there's enough demand.
I mean,
one of the conversations I had with one of our business partners was that you know, it may well detract from people buying the 70-30. It was like, well, no, because they were never going to buy the 70-30 anyway, because they want to concentrate for 50-50. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Looks as though this conversation tonight has come as watch this space.
But the other thing is, I mean, a bottle of 30 ml concentrate ranges, when I've bought a 30 ml one shot, ranges between $5.99 and a tenner.
It'd be about $6.99. I've worked it out.
Yeah, which that's spot on. That looks all right. It's not even. I was half expecting it to be almost not being able to see through it.
It's quite dark, but like the bottom's got a bit of mud on it.
Well, that's all right. I was half expecting the bottle to be green.
Smell it. It's been...
I've got one of them.
It smells amazing.
This stuff smells. This Flavour West cherry berry. I used to vape on this all the time.
The best smelling concentrate I've ever smelt was Mullenberry pineapple. Oh,
Mullenberry? What's a Mullenberry?
It's a Polish flavour company. The company name is Molin.
Oh, Molin. Molin. Marcelina. We used to stock all Marcelina's stuff.
Oh, Marcelina. Did she go on to work at the Vape Poland Expo thing?
I don't know. I know, but she's definitely a Molenberry. And in fact, there we go.
That pineapple.
There we go. Molenberry.
Ah, yeah, Molenberry.
No, it's not Molenberry, is it?
You said Molen.
It's Mollen.
Chris, come on. You said Mollen.
You look like a fucking mole. It's Mollenberry.
You're in such a bad mood, you, tonight. Fucking hell.
I've had a fucking stressful week, and the last thing I need is piping up.
What did you expect?
We should have had Riyadh.
Yeah, we should have got Riyadh on instead.
He's a knob, but at least he's a knob to everyone, not just me.
Well, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, you got some low-hanging fruit at your age, haven't you?
Fucking right I have, mate. You watch me bend over in a dressing gown, I'll show you what's what.
I'm just glad I brought a pint of gin.
Pint of gin? Oh my god.
Brad Smith just bought something up. Delosi chocolate for the golden ticket. Did we talk about that on last week's show? Because
Delosi chocolate?
Somebody has said... I've had this conversation with someone in the past week, and I've got a feeling it was on the show last week. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, one more thing that we wanted to talk about tonight was the fact that it's not just everybody else that's being fucked by China. Juul is also having an issue with Chinese fakes.
Yeah, that was a mad story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they've taken him to court, haven't they, Mark? They're suing him, aren't they?
They are, yes. So I hear.
They've put a block on their assets. So they've frozen all their American not eBay accounts, PayPal accounts. They've frozen all their PayPal accounts and what have you, so they can't withdraw any funds or anything like that. And they're putting lawsuits in. Which is interesting because there's been with Juul, there's been quite a
we're not allowed to say Juul. We're not allowed to say Juul. We'll have the channel shut down.
Okay, sorry. With this particular vape product, it's produced a what does you listen to the Culture of Clouds podcast? She calls it the Voldemort. the mod that shall not be named. So yeah, with this Voldemort, it's produced lots of spin-off companies that actually produce pods that fit it, and I wonder, they're not going for them, are they? They're just going for the blatant replicas that are coming from China.
They won't be able to go for third-party cartridge sellers though, because that's just a thing, isn't it? As long as they're not branded as Voldemort, then it'll all be sweet.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of branded as Voldemort compatible.
Is that allowed?
Is that I know? Technically, would not the pods be patented as well?
Look at Hewlett Packard. They're not going out after the Hewlett Packard compatible.
That's it. You're allowed to say HP compatible cartridges, aren't you? I think you're probably allowed to use the brand name compatible.
I think it's technically because it's their own technology. They've just shaped it in a way that's not patented. If HP patented the shape of their it's just,
the CAD drawing. If they patented the CAD, you're right. Yeah,
I think thing we've agreed on in about 6 months.
Yeah, yeah, we all agree on this. Yeah, the argument is that the jewels that are being produced may look like the Voldemort that's being produced may look like a Voldemort on the outside, but inside, chances are it's completely different. And
the thing is, so if they're boxing it and packaging it and selling it as a jewel, as a Voldemort, then they've not got a leg to stand on.
No, they're literally Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah. Literally.
It's topical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jokes with Damon.
I'm glad.
Can we play a game? We've got 15 minutes left, and I wanted to play a game.
Go on then, Chris. You play your game.
What game are we playing, Chris?
So, I was listening to Radio 1 earlier, and they now do a game which is like a reverse 101. You know, Room 101, where you've got all nominate something that you hate, and we have to vote which we'd get rid of if we have to. I was thinking we should do Vaping 101. So you'd nominate a product that we'd get rid of, and let the chat decide which one of those 4 products they would agree to get rid of.
So we choose one each then.
Yes, but I didn't know whether you guys wanted to start it out on voting for a product that used to be really popular that we should bring back. That's what I think we should vote on this week. So a product that used to be popular or used to be on sale that you can't get hold of anymore or isn't popular anymore. I would like you to each come up with one of those products that you'd like to see back and be popular again. And we'll get
I've got one.
I've got one. And actually, it was ironic because I wanted to bring it up earlier, but I'll give mine first. So I wanted to bring it up earlier because when Mark brought out the gizmo, it kind of reminded me what I wanted to bring back. I wanted to bring back products where they take a third-party tank, but they're hidden. So my example was the rail box. Do any of you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Fucking awesome concept. So it looked like a billet box.
It was a billet box, wasn't it?
It was like a big billet box, but instead of having like this tank here, they had a rail that ran down there, and it had just like a nut. No matter what side that leg is there. Oh, am I frozen?
Sorry. No, you're fine now.
Yeah, so you used to be able to. It used to flip forward like this. You'd screw a tank on, and then you'd flip the tank up into it, and it had airflow just like the billet box, and it vaped. Well, it vaped as good as the tank you put in it. But I really like the technology. I really like the idea of being able to buy a third-party tank. There you go, and conceal it inside the device. Now, I had one of those, which I was sold, and I paid about 180 quid for, and it turned out to be a clone. So I never actually really got to experience. But there's a hole in the top where the drip tip slides through. So you take your 510 drip tip off of your tank, There's a little 510 rubber washer inside, and the tank, it goes into the tank's 510. Because obviously they're all centralized, so it doesn't matter what tank you use, as long as it's 510 drip tip.
That'll take like a 22 or 24 mil, up to a 24 mil tank, presumably.
I think it went up to a 24 mil. Yeah, it just got a bit hard to screw it.
Chris, it was 22 back in the day. I don't think even 24 mil existed really then.
No.
I'd say that's 24 because that's Squape.
Oh, it's Squape, yeah.
Yeah.
The space inside. Yeah, the space inside.
Squape's 22.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think the space inside you could have fit up to 22 in. I don't think there was much up to 24 in. Sorry, I don't think there was much 24 on the market. And this is why I'd like to.
No, there wasn't really,
because they can essentially do that and incorporate a lot of modern technology, which has come out ever since that was released and essentially died. But yeah, I love it. I think the idea is great. Just in general, I'm on about devices that you can hide a tank inside, not specifically the rail box, but that being my example. Who's next?
Chris, at the time, just on that subject for 1 minute, it was Max back in these.
You froze then. I missed exactly.
With railbox versus what? Can you not hear me?
I missed everything. You frozen? Yeah, you froze.
Oh right, okay, sorry. Yeah, it was kind of like the 80s VHS versus Betamax thing with the rail box versus the billet box at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. The billet box at the time was very weird as well because it took. Mark, can you search for the old billet box? Just search billet box Rev 3. That took two 18350 batteries and it had a PWM potentiometer in it. Then it had like a really sort of Victorian sundial kind of looking like control for it. And I had one and it was about the same size as a rail box. It was pretty beefy. It was a lot bigger than the Rev 4 is. But yeah, at the time that was kind of not mega popular, but it had a very rapid following in a certain circle, the Rev 3 billet box. And the same with that rail box. There you go. The actual rail box also had a really strong cult following in certain circles. So yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm on about. Really, they finally released an RDA for the billet box. Have you seen this? I can't remember what it's called.
What did you say?
An RDA.
But oh yes, I've seen that. It reduces the capacity of the box, doesn't it? But
yeah.
But you've got and you build it sideways.
It looks a bit like the inside of a Zippo lighter. So it's got like a So you build the little RDA on one side, and it's got the contact that touches. And it's square like the burr of the billet box. So imagine this is cut to about here, and then that top half has got a single coil RDA section in it. But the thing is, inside of this, it's got the whole what they call a bridge, which this houses a BVC coil, but there's ones that hold as big as the old sub-tank coils, you know, the big fucking square things. So I mean, with a big massive square thing in it, I'm pretty sure you'd get probably less juice in it than you do with that RDA.
You wouldn't get much juice in it with one of those big fuck off massive square Kangatech coils.
Exactly. So I probably think you'd get more juice capacity. Well, I'm presuming they'd do it 2 mil for TPD compliance, but I think that you'd probably get more juice in there than you would with a bridge in it. Anyway, especially with those big fat square coils. But come on then, Damon. What's your room 102? Come on.
Right, I thought initially it was a really great idea, and then I thought no, actually it's a shit idea, and they weren't that good back then. But for some reason, everybody jumped on them, and that's Hannah Mods. Right, I'd really like to see. Stop interrupting me, you cunt. I'd really like to see.
At least I'm interrupting you to support your point and not argue with you.
I'd really like to see an updated, like, nano Hannah mod for some reason.
Well, they actually released the new one, didn't they? They released a new one a couple of years back, but it didn't take off. It had
a couple of years back, yeah, maybe.
It was maybe about a year or so ago, but it had like 2 panels, so you could have a single battery or a dual battery, and you could change the size of the casing. It was a bit like the 2.3 by the Rillo 2.3 by Wismec.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You have 2 different size backs, and you can have a single coil or a dual coil. And actually, one of the viewers
you
of the
got a
show,
photo of this thing, Chris?
Oh, it was called the Hannah 1. Mark, search the Hannah 1.
Oh, right, okay, let's all look.
I think one of the viewers of the show actually had one and offered it to me. And we were midway through a deal and he had to go and do something like make dinner. And I really wanted it. So if it's someone watching tonight, if someone actually still watches the show after that amount of time, get in contact because I still want to make a deal on that.
That mod, that Hannah mods, right? We've got one at a Luna still in the back somewhere, and that is the worst, one of the worst mods ever. It's awful.
Really think it looks awesome.
It looks awesome, Chris. It's fucking horrible. The way it sticks together, it's worse than Lego, man. It's really, really bad.
Have you got one? Have you got one at your work?
Really awful.
Have you got one at your work? Did you say?
Yeah. I have. Yeah. Do you want it? It's $49.50.
Please. What?
$49.50. There you go.
Just PayPal me 50 quid, Chris, and I'll send it out tomorrow.
Is it a genuine Hannah one?
No, it's a genuine. Yeah, they're 3D printed, and they are truly awful. Really awful.
Brilliant.
I know they look brilliant, but honestly, they aren't. They feel like a shoddy piece of plastic light crap.
My first expensive mod was a Hannah DNA 30, and they'd just come out. Like the day they'd come out, I just got into sort of vaping circles. It was released It was released like 2014, and I bought one. What the fuck is that?
Ooh, what is that?
That's a skin.
That is amped.
Hannah mod.
That is that is so ugly. It's unreal.
Holy shit! It's like a fucking it's a Fender thing.
It's an amp, yeah.
No, it's not Fender. It's a speaker stack, isn't it? What is
Marshall?
An amplifier.
It's a guitar.
So yeah, my entry to Vaping 101 would be Hannah mods. I'd like to see them come back with something funky, because they were funky back in the day. They were funky as fuck, and like really cool. Maybe I'm wrong, but they might have been the first anodized like coloured metal mod.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they were pretty groundbreaking, you know, working with DNA as well. And, you know, I'd like to see them come back with something if they still exist.
At the same time, there was a...
Let's move along. Chandler, what would you like to see in Vaping 101?
What I'd like to
Chandler's
come
going
back.
to try and bring back something that was like...
Yeah, what would you bring back?
I would like to bring back, and this is you're probably right. When I was starting, there was a lot of 18350 pipe-ish mods that look a little like pipes. So like the Hammer of God, all of those. With the fact that the 18350 battery technology has just gone through the roof. I think some of those mods need to make a comeback, because I think they would. 186-350 mods seem to be coming back, though, don't they? I've noticed on SV there's a resurgence. People are saying, why don't you use this for 4.9 instead of a pod? You know, it's like it's definitely coming back.
I've had a couple of friends,
because there was a lot of them where you'd got the 18350, and they either made it look like a pipe, or you'd got the battery tube on the side and you held it in your hand like a pipe.
Chris Scott made an incredible one that I saw at the last expo.
Nice it was. The Swipe.
I've had people messaging me for an old. I've had people messaging me for an old 18350 mod that I knew I have somewhere. I've not bothered finding it yet. Le Petit Gros.
Yes.
You remember them?
Yeah.
Le Petit. No, I don't remember that one.
I didn't think you. I think it was hybrid mod. I think it was one of the first ever hybrid mods, wasn't it? Hybrid mechs.
Yeah. I've still got one somewhere.
Is it just a tube?
Ollie
or
wants
just a tube.
Yeah, it's a tube. Yeah.
I used to have
The little big
with a derringer.
No, I want one. I want one that looks. I want one that looks like a pipe. One that I can have a stem on it. That's like. You know what I'm like.
That's all I
think
wanted.
Lee actually used to make some gorgeous stabilized wood pipes.
I want one of Chris Scott's Squipes because it looks. It's amazing. I want one, but they're not cheap.
Have you got a picture of one? Handy Chandler?
What, a Squipe?
Sorry, Chris. Yeah.
They released a few good pipes, but the problem is that they all just the pipe base. None of them actually include a really long stem. They've just got like a section to put a normal tank on it. I want to see one released with a proper nice pipe stem, like a long Gandalf one, because the only reason I wanted a pipe was for that stem. And when I ordered one, it didn't come with a stem. I'm trying to find an 18650 pipe, 18650, a 510 pipe stem was fucking near on impossible.
I know where you can get one from. Cumbria e-pipes.
Cumbria e-pipes, wow. Does a really, really long pipe not affect the flavour, Chris?
I don't know. I didn't get one in the end. I just wanted one to look like Gandalf.
I suppose it kind of like... You're not really doing it for flavour anyway, really, are you? You're doing it for aesthetics as well.
It would condensate before it reached your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one he showed me at Expo. He had a prototype of...
How do I get that out of the way? Bloody hell.
Press that.
There we go. Cool. Oh, shit. That's not what I'm looking at.
No, that's not that one, is it?
He's got some on his page. Where is it? I know he's got some on his page. Dun, dun, dun. Because I was looking at them the other day and just going, oh, I want one of those. I should have actually got it up and ready before sharing my screen.
He's probably one of the nicest blokes I've met in the industry as well.
Yeah, it's Chris Scott's fault that I actually made a mod. Had Chris not said it's a piece of cake, just and went, you just do this, that, and the other. Oh, for crying out loud! All I want is a Squipe. Where are they? I was looking at them on here the other day.
You could search for Squipe.
I could. I know, but I did, and it took. And I basically, it looks like that. There you go.
Oh, that's quite cool. Yeah, that's very nice.
There is a squonk bottle in there. The squonk hole is there. Can you see my mouse thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, there's a 18650 in there, and the button is 18650 in there.
It's not quite the same as that though. It's slightly different, but the premise is there.
Yeah, that is just beautiful, and the craftsmanship in making that was just awesome.
Mark, Vaping 101, what would you put in it?
It's an easy one for me.
The gizmo!
That's kind of the same sort of thing I was on about, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the 18350, 18500, the small, compact, able to take other tanks. Yeah.
Because they did a 24 and a 22, didn't they?
No, there was a 17 mil.
17.
Oh,
17 mil when that was a thing.
It's 17 and 23, weren't it?
22, 17 and 22.
Yeah.
I'm trying desperately to try and get in touch with Chris to make this happen. To make it happen, we need to see them back on the market.
Well, would you like to see what changes would you like to see to it, Mark?
You know what? I'm obviously I've got it in my hand here, and I'm.
Would you like a board in it? Would you like it regulated?
No, I wouldn't. Not at all. I'd like to see a.
You know what you could do with that? You know what you could do with that? You could actually put in a squonk bottle at the bottom, then have like a plate that you screw a little 22ml RDA into, and keep both a bottle and an RDA in that same section. Now that tanks have shrunk so much since they released that, so all you'd need to do is a bottom access hatch, so you can slide the squonk bottle in and turn that into a hidden squonker.
Agreed.
That is brilliant.
What,
The
make it
Gizmo
taller and then
Squonker
have double stack backwards?
Yeah.
Huh?
The Gizmo Squonker.
Yeah. I think it worked brilliantly.
But squonking atties are so goddamn small these days anyway.
Exactly. So they would fit in the top half with having a bottle underneath it.
So you just get the. So you basically just have the drip tip poking out the top.
Yeah.
Rio
bit
says
like
it's 17 and 24 mil. I didn't think it went up to 24. God.
I thought
Would we like to see it? Go on, Chris. Sorry.
I thought it was 17 for 14 and 16 mil tanks and RDAs, and then it was 23 mil for I think they did a 19 mil tank and a 22 mil. But I might be wrong. But so chat, what do you think? Would you see back the Gizmo? Would you see back the pipe mod? Would you see back the Hannah mods, or would you see back the rail box? Cast your votes now. Yeah, I think it's a good game that we can play. We don't need to prep for it because it's sort of on the spot. I think this can be a regular occurrence. We can decide on whether it's a vote for or against, and we can take it in turns. What do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Chat aren't bothered though.
They need to catch up, don't they? They're a minute behind.
Oh yeah. Oh, pipe mod. I like it.
Oh.
So far, we've got one for 3 of them.
Yeah, nothing for.
Riyadh's still going on about 24 mil.
Oh,
2 gizmos, 2 rail boxes.
Come on, Hannah mods.
2 Hannah boxes. Come on, some more mods. Some more pipes would be good.
Fuck
3
off,
gizmos.
Oh. Is it 3? Oh yeah, 3.
3 gizmos. Looks like the gizmos got it.
Oh, Hannah mods coming in late there from Alistair Cameron. Hello, Alistair.
The final furlong, we've got Hannah mods and Gizmo. Hannah mods and Gizmo. Gizmo taking the lead slowly.
Right, one last vote then. Hannah mods versus Gizmo. Cast your vote now.
I'll laugh if someone puts rail
one more. All right, now you've said that, everyone's going to start posting Railbox.
I hope they do. I think we should have a forfeit as well. Oh, we got another vote for Hannah. That's 4-3 we're at so far.
Oh,
Can
Badger,
anyone
you
equal?
let it down.
Oh,
Oh, we've got
another
Railbox, pipe mods.
Fuck off, Chandler. You don't.
That was worth a try.
Chandler, you're not allowed to vote.
We should do a forfeit as well. Whoever's voted the worst out of the lot should have to contact that company and try and convince them to reignite the spark.
Oh, that's a fucking great idea. I'll do that anyway, just for a laugh.
I think look, Hannah Mods has clearly won. So you can pick someone to do a forfeit, Damon, and they have to contact Hannah Mods and try and convince them to re-release their product. Pick one of us three. Which one do you think is the worst idea to bring back?
Hang on. Sean's gone Gizmo.
Vote surely.
Yeah, but Rob Hardman went Hannah, and so did Badger. So that's 2.
Are we calling the vote closed now, or what?
Yeah, Hannah Mods wins.
Yeah.
So now, which one out of the 3 would you least like to save? And that person can write an email to
right,
Hannah Mods.
the thing is, right, I'm looking at the validity of products and how cycles work, and I can definitely say that something like the Gizmo that could be updated really nicely for where we are today. It could be updated really nicely for those who don't necessarily want to use squonkers but want something discreet. Personally, I'd like to see it fucking stacking a 30mm version for those massive tanks out there now, but that'd be interesting. I've got to say, Chandler's pipe will come back again as well, whether it be those stabilised wood wankers. So, Chris, I'm sorry, but your Railbox ain't ever going to come back versus the billet box. Betamax versus VHS. VHS wins every time. You're going to contact Hannah Mods, mate.
I'll write them an email now, live on the show, and then you can watch me send
No,
it.
not an email. You could call them and record it.
They're in the States.
You're going to phone them and record it.
No, I'm going to send them an email.
Well,
Send them
midnight is
an
about midnight. If you're looking at Pacific, is it Pacific Eastern? Central time is about 5 p.m. is about midnight. It's about 4 o'clock.
I
It's
can
about
ring
3
them now.
o'clock.
Tell them you've got
Afternoon at the
some
minute.
banging. Tell them you've got some banging ideas, fam.
I'll ring them now.
And maybe we can talk about it on Hangouts, brah.
Give them a ring now. Get it sorted.
But it
I
needs
need
to
to
be
find
more.
their
It
contact
needs to be
number.
more than
Phone
it
call
needs to be
live
more-
on the show.
It needs to be
Dave
more than
Ape wants a phone call live on the show.
Well, there's no phone number for them. Their last post on Facebook was July 2015.
Oh,
Chris, it
Mark.
needs to be more than 30 watts, bro. I need bear clouds, bro.
If you click on, if you go on their website, hannahmods.com, it actually says that it says that it's not a website anymore. They don't even own the domain anymore. That's a shame.
After their last mod fell apart in my hands, I'm not surprised they're done.
Chris,
It's all right,
you could find a way.
I've tried to go onto their mod and it's telling me it's not private anymore. It doesn't
the
even
domain
let me
is
go
the
onto
domain.
it.
The domain is 404 unreachable.
Oh,
Like
after all
buy
that.
it. Buy it.
By what?
Oh, yeah, Hannah Mods.
Buy the domain.
What a shame. Gone the way of Kangatech.
Chris, you need to do some detective work. You need to find out who created it. You need to get in touch with them, and you need to convince them into releasing a Bear Clouds, bro.
Yeah. I wanted to fit like a 44mm RDA in it, yeah, with like 25 coils, mate. I have 24 batteries stacked up, you know.
You've got your mission, now go for it. You've got to put a bit more legwork in than an email live from the show.
Well, I'll email them if I can find a contact. There must be someone who stocked them from day dot that still has a
Fast
contact.
Tech. Fast Tech.
Yeah, I'll ring
You
Fast
told me
Tech.
Fast Tech still stock the bloody things.
Yeah, I'll try and find a Fast Tech contact number and I'll ring them.
Awesome.
I'll ring Fast Tech and ask them if they can release some new Hannah mods.
But spell it HANNAH.
Oh yeah, they've actually got a phone number.
You found a phone number?
Yeah, yeah.
Call them now, Chris. Please.
Is it American?
China.
China. You're going to call China. I don't know what time it is in China. It's probably like 2 in the morning.
No, it's a lot later than that. It's about 6 in the morning, depending on which bit of China.
What time is it in China? Wednesday. It's 5. It's 5:15 in the morning.
I'm sure Elvis will be happy to take your call.
The person at 1100 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up.
Hi, I was just calling with a couple of suggestions. I noticed that you guys stock the original Hannah mod, and seeing as you've got a large portion of the target market, I presume that you may have some money invested in it. I would like to propose that you guys re-release the Hannah mods, but maybe with a DNA 200 version, or take the chip on the old Vicious Ant and 360 watt that bad boy. Because I want to blow some serious clouds on a Hannah mod. Yeah, give me a shout and let me know what you think. Thanks.
Well done. Nice one.
That was incredible.
They might take me up on that. They might take me up on that. That's my.
I'm waiting for his phone to ring just before we go. You know, like.
It's just a bit early over there.
That is incredible, and I think we
on that note.
Oh no, he's been booted. China's got. Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back.
China hacked my system, and
yeah.
I dropped my Aspire Nautilus AIO thing on the sleep key, and it put my iMac to sleep.
I think that's a perfect way of ending this evening's show. Get your tongue out my mouth.
I bet you say that's all the time in your house, Mark.
You stink.
Yeah, he's been licking his arsehole before he licked your lips.
Oh.
She doesn't look impressed.
On that note.
On that note, thank you very much for joining us. Oh no, I've not.
I'll let you know if Fast Tack get in contact next week.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Hold fire, because I'm not ready to end the show yet.
But yeah, I think we should do that every week, and there'll be a forfeit. It doesn't necessarily have to be contacting a company to get them to reignite their product, but we will. I think there should be a forfeit from the person of choice who wins, and we can do that live on the show at some point.
Definitely, I'm loving it. Thank you very much for everyone for joining us this evening. Thank you very much, Damon. Hopefully we will see you here again soon. Oh shit, Chandler's going.
Cheers, Mark. Cheers, guys. Have a good night, all. Thanks for having us.
Take care, folks. We will see you next
Tuesday.
VTUK.